Welcome back to Mrs. P What Is for Tea, and we are making cheese scones. Sourdough cheese scones. So we need 2 cups of plain flour. Let's put that to one side. On there. Cup measurement, here we go. So 2 cups of plain flour. And then we need 4 ounces of butter. Now, if you've ever rubbed butter into a recipe, you know it's a bit of a to-do. Where's my butter? Where's my frozen butter? I've got 4 ounces of butter frozen in here somewhere. Oh, flipping heck. Ah, there it is. So I use unsalted butter. I have no idea why, but I do. Freeze your butter. Freeze your butter before you grate it. It just makes it so much easier. So I do have this power grater. No idea where the end is. It might not be great. Yeah. Let's finally grate it. So I'm using the grater. This is a Tefal Fresh Express. Had it for absolutely years. So I've got 4 ounces of butter frozen, and I am going to grate it in the Fresh Express. It's going to be a bit noisy, sorry. This is hard work. Now this just saves rubbing all the butter into the flour, because you're literally just going to stir it. It makes it so much easier. I don't know, I read this on, I've seen it online, I don't know who has seen it, and it's like revolutionary. Because normally you would rub the butter into the flour, wouldn't you, when you were making scones, and it's a game and a half to do. But here, if you grate it, you just fold it in and job done. How good is that? It is so easy. So that's the butter and the flour. So we need a tablespoon of baking powder. So I've got baking powder. Tablespoon measurement, it's not going to fit in there. Fantastic. Let's put that side. There we go. Tablespoon of baking powder. Half a teaspoon of salt. I think this is a quarter. Yeah, this is a quarter of a teaspoon, so we want 2 of these. Lovely. And a cup of cheese. So I've got some odds and sods of cheese here, so I'm just going to make a bit of a mix of the cheese that I've got. So I have got a little bit of mozzarella left. I've got a little bit of, I might leave the mozzarella for the top. Top it with the mozzarella. So I'll use the parmesan and the cheddar. It's about half a cup of the parmesan. and the rest of that cheddar. There we go, lovely. So a cup of cheese has gone in, lovely. And then we're going to add our wet ingredients. So we want 2/3 of a cup of the starter. Now the starter can be active or it can be discard. As it happens, mine is active. I spent a few weeks just regenerating mine because I left it in, when Mr. P was poorly, I just left it in the fridge and it kind of went off the boil, so to speak. So I'm just going to mix my wet ingredients together. So I've got a second bowl. Yeah. So my starter's here. Look at that, nice and bubbly. Can you see that? Can you see the bubbles? It's lovely. So 3/4 of a cup of starter. There we go. Lovely job. That I will feed because I might make bread tomorrow night. So I will feed that again. So 3/4 of a cup of starter. That's gone in. Oh, I was going to mix all the wet in another bowl. I haven't done. See what I mean? Best laid plans. So that bowl is clean. I haven't used it. Absolutely fine. So 2/3 of a cup of starter, 1 large egg, and 3 tablespoons. It does say double cream, but I haven't got any double cream, so I am going to use milk. I've got my tablespoon measure here, 3 tablespoons. So this should be double cream, but you can substitute milk. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to mix that together. Just bring it all together slowly. You might think it's quite dry, but it will. The starter will incorporate the flour, but sometimes you just have to leave it and let it come together. Auto-lasing, I think they call it. So to just give that a good mix, and then we're going to cover it and we're going to let it stand in the fridge for half an hour. So a good mix round so that it's kind of coming together. You want to pick up all that wet, all that dry flour into the mix. So that's lovely. That's all coming together nicely now. So I am going to cover it and pop it in the fridge for about half an hour or so. And then we'll be back. Okay, so that's had about half an hour in the fridge. Seemingly the secret to scones is to keep the mixture cold. So you just you do a little bit and then you put it in the fridge. I've actually got, this is for tea leaves to make tea. But it is brilliant for just dusting a little bit of flour. I've got plain flour. I'm just dusting that, and then I'm going to get the mixture out the bowl and just bring it, or in the bowl I'm going to bring it together so that we pick up all those dry pieces of flour. So not kneading it, but just pulling it together so that it forms into quite a loose dough, granted, but a dough nonetheless. So just bringing all that loose and putting it into the dough. There we go. To tip that out, might be easy to do it out of the bowl. Don't want to handle it too much because it gets, I think, a bit weary when you handle it too much. So just literally bringing it together into a dough, folding the dry in, It does feel very, very dry at the moment, but as that cheese melts when they're cooking, it will get a lot damper. Just picking up all the cheese in the dough, and then I am going to, now I'm not sure that I'm going to roll it out. I think I'm just going to cut it and form it into balls, and then we're going to pop them back in the fridge again before we bake them, just to rest. So we're going to let that's formed into a dough, and I'm going to pop it back into the fridge again, just to rest again before we shape it. Back in the bowl, I'm using a disposable shower curtain. There we go. Going back in the fridge for another maybe 15 minutes, and then we'll get it out and shape it. So that's the 20 minutes in the fridge. Just going to put a little dusting of flour on my, do you know, I reckon I got this, I don't know whether I got it from Amazon or from Temu. Do you know, I can't remember, but it is the best thing ever. Just keeps the sides all clean. So it just contains all the flour and everything in one place. I'm just going to put a little bit on my rolling pin. And I'm going to roll it out. It's come together quite nicely. I think when leaving it to cool is probably the secret. There's a lot of cheese in these. Now, I quite like making cheese scones because, very selfish reason, I don't eat them. So they're quite safe for me to make. So got a tray here ready for them to go on. Let's move that out the way. And I've got the tray there. Alright, Brian. Brian is running round here. Just going to get a cutter. Got a cutter. I'm just going to cut out some scones. Simple as that. Mix is nice and cold. Similarly, the secret to them not twisting is to push the cutter straight down. Who knew? So get those cut out, see how many we get. I'm taking them into work. I don't like them, but we've got a new lady starting, so I thought, you know what? I'll make some cheese scones to welcome our new lady. I just hope she likes cheese scones. Not something I thought to find out. I've not been to work today. Wednesday's my day off. So I thought, right, I'll do some cheese scones with my sourdough. I'd had to sort of restart my starter, if you will, because I left it in the fridge while Mr. P wasn't well. So it has had a few weeks of loving care, and it seems to be doing much better. I need to feed it before I go to bed tonight. There we go. So what have we got? 8. Maybe a 9th one here. So you're just cutting out the scones as you normally would. Paste them on some parchment paper. It's a little bit misshapen, but that's okay. And we've got a little odd bit there. So once they're rolled out, I'm just going to brush them with a little bit of milk. Just get a wee container. Brush them with a tiny bit of milk so that the cheese sticks to the top. And then they're going into the baking oven. They don't take long, about 15 minutes I think. we'll keep their eye on. So I've just got a little bit of the milk. And I'm just going to... Now this would normally be double cream, but I haven't got any double cream, so we're just using milk. Or to be honest, milk that's not milk really. Must remember to take a pat of butter with me. So a little bit of milk on the top, just like that. This is a Farmhouse on Boone recipe on YouTube. I'll try and put her channel below. I'm not even sure how to do that, but I'll give it a try. I will try. She appears to be the sort of expert on sourdough, and such a pleasant lady as well. Very, very nice. A lady with a whole big crowd of kids, but she manages to do all this home cooking. She homeschools her family. I'll take my hat off to her. Can't imagine anything worse than homeschooling. Then I've always worked full time, so, and I had no small children when we were homeschooling when people were homeschooling during COVID. Well, that's just finished off that mozzarella. Lovely. So I'm going to pop these into the baking oven for 15 minutes and then we'll be back and have a look at them. Okay, those have had 15 minutes. I've had my tea, had last night's leftovers. It's been bloody lovely. I don't mind having the same thing 2 days running, you know, it doesn't bother me at all. So let's have a little look. Gloves on. Oh, they're a bit they want to go in the wash. Oh yeah, they're coming on fine. I put the cool shelf in case the oven was too hot because I had put it on boiling, on roasting. But I think those are doing fine. And we'll come back in about 5 minutes and have another look. Okay, so those have had 5 more minutes. It's just that cold tray is very, very hot. Oh yeah, these are doing well. I'm just going to turn them round. They look quite nice, don't they? I don't like cheese scones, so cheese scones are a great thing for me to make for work. But yeah, coming up lovely. Pop them in. Just to finish off. Back again in another 5 minutes. I think at this stage of the game it's slow and steady wins the race, so I'll just keep checking every 5 minutes to see how they're doing because they can so quickly catch and go over, so we'll be back shortly. Okay, they've had another 5 minutes, so let's have a wee look. Oh, there we go. What do you think? Another 5 minutes? Turn them again? I don't know whether they're done actually. No, I think they're done. I'm going to call it good. So there we go. What did they have? 25 minutes in the baking oven, and some cheese scones for work tomorrow. So thanks very much for joining me today. I would love you to click the subscribe button and join the family, and we post videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Monday we do a shop with me, Wednesday we do cooking in the Cotswold kitchen, and on a Friday it is my meals of the week. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you on Friday with meals of the week. Take care of yourself.